603 subscribers, just can't be wrong. Today we're going to talk about, of course, the gold, silver and platinum price analysis, and we'll discuss a new battery technology which may require up to 1 kilo of silver per battery that goes into electric vehicles. We're going to talk about that as well. Look, if you're watching this on the replay, use the time codes below to go to your favorite parts straight away. But if you're watching this live, you get to enjoy everything we do here at Good Morning Stackers. Brought to you by Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, and Wealthstack, wealthstack.com. My name is Joe Main. In the first 1 minute of the show, we do the Synchronised Slurp. That's where you grab a tasty beverage of your choice. I'm not going to judge you. It's okay. And we slurp it together. The rule is you must slurp it audibly, and it isn't on a system. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, yes, sirree, Bob. Coming to you live from down under in Melbourne, in Australia. Welcome to all my subscribers, all my live watchers. We've got people from Australia. We've got a lot of international people as well coming in from Wall Street Silver and Silver DGen Club on Reddit, and just all the other amazing people. And of course, the most amazing people are my GMS family. Hit the big red subscribe button to join the winning team, because we're just absolutely kicking goals, making touchdowns, whatever kind of sporting parlance you want to use. Who am I? I've worked in the precious metals industry in Australia, in the retail industry for 11 years, over 3 major bullion dealers, all the ones you know and love here in Australia. Of course, I launched and grew Bullion Now's YouTube channel, and what I do now for a living is I do this show every single weekday morning, and I help you launch and grow on YouTube and other social media. I've been doing it for a long time. I'm really good at what I do, and I'm even using this show as a kind of like a proof of concept at the same time, even though I just love talking about precious metals, bullion, economic news, all that stuff. You know what to do. But in the first little part of the show, before we get to the topic of the day, etc., we do all the quick little shout outs. I've got to talk to my GMS family. GMS. Have to catch the replay. Knock it out the park, Joe. I love all the sporting references. That's great. So Knock It Out the Park that's from CT, and the CT is from the Lone Star State in Texas. That's a baseball reference. Knock It Out the Park. Morning, Jason. You might want to stick around, Jason, because Jason provided the article for today's topic of the week about the solid state battery stuff. By the way, if anyone wants to share anything with me, I want you to send me an email to gmstackers@gmail.com. Send me articles you think I might find interesting that I might want to talk about on the show. Send me show and tell. We haven't done show and tell for ages. So send me something that you've recently bought, that you've recently seen that's cool. Or you can send me a picture of your entire stack. We'll keep it fully anonymous, all that sort of stuff. But I'd love to, do show and tell. Regular show and tell would be great. Something you recently found, all that kind of stuff. Are you a prospector? Did you find something in the ground or whatever? And also, if you have any requests for me to do a live look at any kind of chart, it doesn't have to be gold, silver, it doesn't have to be precious metals. It can be a stock, it could be a crypto if you want. It could be anything. I like to do those live analysis as well. We've done them previously, and they were a lot of fun. So send me an email at gmstackers@gmail.com. And I got my first coffee yesterday, someone overnight named Mike. Thank you so much, Mike. Sent me $5 through buymeacoffee.com/goodmorningstackers. It helps to support the show. So do that if you feel like it. If you're finding value in the show, of course, you get this free. You will always get this free. That'll never change. But I will also be adding a membership program. As you know, it'll get you discounts from Perth Bullion Exchange. Might get you extra perks from Wealthstack as well. Got to figure that out. And it also gets you extra content as well. Lots of different content that I want to talk about. Whole bunch of other life stuff, and all this. I want to keep this channel just to the bullion-esque related stuff. But hey, I have so many different interests. And some of you know those interests. Let's see. Joe getting his slurp drink. Got it, mate. GSM, good morning, gentlemen. It says Pete, repeat. Get out of that thing. Let me buy me a coffee thing. Got to get out of there. Thank you. Right there. GMS, beautiful day. It is a really nice day in Melbourne today. It's lovely. Good old Melbourne. Mark, Florida man, Joe, plus GMS chat mum. Ooh, all is well in the world. So chat mum's in the house. Good old chat mum. Pete Repet said, I got a few more buybacks yesterday from PBE, Perth Bullion Exchange, just topping up the order. Fantastic. Bless you, Mark. Tony Peterson, chat mum, is in. We'll catch as much as I can, but life does annoyingly intrude on Joe's humble but brilliant analysis. Thanks. I appreciate that. Guys, you got to do what you got to do. If you have to work, I understand it's evening somewhere, it's morning somewhere else. That's okay. If you got to work, you got to work. If you can sneakily do your work and then just listen to it live, hey, that's even better. But just catch the replay if you need to. That's fine. Joe did his hair. Yeah, I did finally. I got to it. I wore a hat yesterday because I didn't have time to quaff the old noggin. Anyone buying today? Maybe. FST is back. Great to see you, everyone. Greg C. I haven't seen you for a while, Greg. Not buying today, but will be tomorrow. Purchase every Friday, no matter the spot price. Brilliant. I'm going to cheers to that. Cheers to dollar cost averaging. That's the exact way to do it in my humble, non-financial advice opinion. Lance says, I find it interesting now gold price is being reported on the TV now. Oh, okay. 2 places I've seen it in 2 days. Generally, you will get a gold. You used to always get gold mentioned at the end of the financial report. You know, someone will come on and say, oil is gold is it, blah, blah, blah. But maybe, did they stop that recently and maybe now they're doing it again? Okay. Fair enough. Looking at getting some next week. Chris Phipps from PDX from Portland is in the house. GMS everyone, says Don Chris. G'day Chris. Good morning, Stackers. Sir Alfred, I haven't seen you for a while, Sir Alfred. Greetings, friends. Daniel, top of the morning. Top of the morning to you. And we'll get through these quick ones and then we'll talk about the topic of the day. GMS. Greg C is, what type of coffee do you drink? If that was a question to me, this is water. I always have water. Out of interest, and I've mentioned this before, here's what I do. Quick little caffeine thing. I'm very sensitive to caffeine, always have been, and I can't do more than 2 in a day. And actually, even the second one, if I have a second one in the Arvo, I just feel a little. So I whittled myself down finally. I've tried to quit coffee. It's really hard. But here's what I do every single morning. Every single night before I go to bed, I get a shot glass of espresso. And it's just instant coffee, but it's good instant coffee. It's not, just Coles brand. Well, I get a good instant coffee. I get about roughly half a teaspoon, so kind of like a half to 3/4 strength right? I obviously fill that up with water, with warm water. I don't worry about boiling the kettle and all that stuff because I'm leaving it overnight. But I also get a large glass of warm, salty water. And then I put that by the bed overnight. In the morning, I set my alarm. Usually it's 7 o'clock-ish, something like that. I'll tend to wake up a little bit earlier than that, like your 6:30 if the kids come in or whatever. As soon as I wake up, whether that's like 6 o'clock or sometimes it's even been 5:30, and I go, I got to be up at 7. But whenever I wake up, I instantly down the shot of espresso, down the shot of coffee, and glug, 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 that salty water. And I either literally go back to sleep or I usually put a podcast on. I'll just rest for a while. It could be half an hour, 45 minutes. I'll sometimes go back and doze. And then when my alarm goes off, I'm like, good morning, world. Time to get to it. I'm not sluggish. I'm just like, bing, hello, world, let's get to it. So that's what I do. And I tend to only have 1 coffee a day. If I ever stray and I have a second one, I just feel a little bit jittery. So that's all I do. And sometimes I will drink decaf. I must admit, I do drink decaf. That is it, people. All right. Let's talk about a new article that is about solid-state batteries and how the new battery technology coming out now may require up to 1,000 grams of silver per battery, which is to go into an electric vehicle. Okay, so we're only talking about the battery. Actually, we're only talking about the battery for the electrical vehicle. We're not even talking about the other silver that would need to go in the electrical vehicle because of, other components, right? So actually, it could be even more than a kilo's worth of silver per electric vehicle. But let's just talk about the battery thing. Now, It's a recent article. This is actually shared with me by Jason Ashworth. Jason is still watching. Again, send me an email, gmstackers@gmail.com, if you want to share any articles or anything that you want me to mention. We'll share the screen. And of course, after this, we'll be doing the gold-silver price analysis, all that usual stuff that we do. But this comes from Kitco News. Wow, good old Kitco News. Fantastic. Silver set to soar on Samsung's stolid. Wow, that's a lot of sibilance. Silver set to soar on Samsung's solid-state battery breakthrough analysts. Okay, let's check it out. And as always, when we read an article, look at some news, I'm always just looking at the news to talk about the actual topic. I am taking a live look at this. I kind of skim read things and then I do this on the fly. This is also a chance for potential reading comprehension as well. Is there anything that stands out where we go, that's a bit iffy? But anyway, let's read it. Kitco News. Gold has had a breakout year, as the yellow metal surged to new heights above 2,500. This is the introductory paragraph. While its grey counterpart silver has struggled to keep pace. But that could soon change, according to one analyst, as silver demand is expected to increase thanks to one new technological development from Samsung. According to retired investment professional Kevin Brambro, Samsung has developed a new solid-state battery. The inclusion of silver as a key component, combined with the increasing demand for electrical vehicles, means that the demand for the grey metal will soon increase. Well, that's good news for me, good news for you, if it is true. Quote, the key drivers that will ramp up demand for electric vehicles are range, charge time, battery life, absolutely, and safety, Bambra said. Continued quote, Samsung's new solid-state battery technology incorporating a silver carbon composite layer for the anode exemplifies this advancement. Silver's exceptional electric conductivity, yes, and stability, yes, are leveraged to enhance battery performance and durability, achieving amazing benchmarks like a 600-mile range, that's good, and a 20-year lifespan, that's amazing, and a 9-minute charge, ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Okay. As we all know, technology just gets better and better. Let me get rid of these stupid ads that I don't want to see. He noted that while official numbers are currently unavailable, estimates, show that, one ad goes, another ad pops up. Estimates show that there could be as much as, so number one, he noted that while no official numbers are currently available, estimates show that there could be as much as 5 grams of silver per cell in Samsung's solid-state batteries, meaning a typical electrical vehicle battery pack containing around 200 cells for a 100 kilowatt capacity could require about 1 kilo of silver per vehicle. Okay, let's read that just again. Okay, he noted that while official numbers are currently unavailable, estimates show that there could be as much as 5 grams of silver per cell. A typical EV battery containing 200 cells would require about 1 kilo of silver per vehicle. So let's just break that down. Obviously, official numbers not available. It's estimates, etc., and it could be as much as. Okay, so we are stretching it a little bit. Okay, when we do the reading comprehension, it's not someone saying it definitely will do this, it will definitely contain that, and it will definitely blah blah blah. And of course, this is an article. People have to write articles. Of course, they've got bills to pay and all that, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. And I'm going to say that in my humble confirmation bias, I want this to be right opinion is it's very reasonable. It is reasonable that it could be that every electrical vehicle could have up to 1 kilo of silver per vehicle. Okay, let's keep reading. With global car production standing at about 80 million vehicles per year, if only 20% of these vehicles were to adopt Samsung's solid-state batteries, the annual demand for silver would be around 16,000 metric tons. Okay? And that's a quote from Bambra. Bambra keeps quoting, "This would represent a significant portion of current global silver production," which is approximately 25,000 metric tons annually, highlighting the substantial impact on the silver market. Could not agree more if that is true. So big ifs, if 20%, start using the thing, then so all these ifs, but it is not out of the realm of possibility at all. They're not saying if 80% of vehicles start using Samsung's batteries. No, it's only 20%. Very, very doable, in my opinion. Again, I want this to be right. You want this to be right. So this is what we would call a recreational belief, as someone else has coined that term, not me. But it would absolutely represent a significant portion of current global silver production. And so that's, way more than half. So what's the percentage? 25,000, 12.5 is 50%. So that's kind of like your 65 to 70%. That's a lot. Okay, now he noted that this alone presents a bullish trajectory for silver and doesn't even account for demand from the solar industry as well. Abso-bloody-lutely. Quote, "Add in the fact that silver is already in a deficit with industrial demand from the solar industry pushing total yearly consumption ahead of supply," he said. So we don't even have any silver capacity to spare! Exclamation point. Very, very interesting. Bambra provided some caveats. Now, good. Now, fantastic. What I love is the fact that this gentleman here is providing the opposite side to it. So that actually lends to his credibility, which I love. As you know, plug for me, I don't give you definites when I do technical analysis. I don't say definitely here, definitely there. I say, watch out for this, but on the opposite end, watch out for this. So this is good credibility right here. Bambra provided some caveats to his thesis. Good. Saying, quote, perhaps 5 grams might be high. Perhaps 20% will prove low for solid-state battery penetration into the auto industry. Okay. It could be as much as 50% or greater, looking 10 to 15 years out. So those are the caveats. So on one side, saying, perhaps 5 grams might be a little bit on the high side, so not maybe a kilo per solid-state battery. However, the demand might be higher, so that could still work out to the same amount of metric tons required per year. So it could still be that 16,000 metric tons, give or take. Quote continues, "For me, it's just another reason to expect silver markets to tighten up further and the price of silver to take a run at its all-time high inflation-adjusted high of $200 US per ounce will likely be seen in the coming 10 to 15 years, he said. I agree with that. Yeah. 10 to 15 years, $200 silver, absolutely dead easy. And you all know that. And look, 10 to 15 years, it's a long time, okay? Dead easy, $200 silver. 10 to 15 years, it could be even sooner than that. Quote, "If estimates of the true short position bullion banks currently carry in the silver market, that price could be seen much sooner." Great. We all agree. Quote, "All one needs to do is look back at the silver chart of the 1970s to see how explosive the precious metal can move skyward when a true shortage develops and speculators decide to hoard." Oh, yeah. And he concluded, "My bet is we will hoard." Who is he again? Where's he from? Retired investment professional, Kevin Bambra. Okay, don't know a lot about him. Does he have a lot? Does he own a silver bullion dealer? Is he a bullion dealer owner? And what does he do with silver? Does he have a financial reason to be bullish on silver and to talk about it? Probably. I'm sure he owns a lot of silver. That's probably a definite. And let's see. Here's another report. Okay. According to a report written by Enrico, blah, 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 at Ride Apart, Samsung is already working with big automakers to incorporate its solid-state battery technology into EVs in development. The firm has signed an agreement, excellent, with Toyota to begin mass production of solid-state batteries in 2027, with Lex vehicles scheduled to be among the first to integrate the new technology. That's really good news. Punsalang noted that one thing that will hinder, a faster rollout of SS battery-enabled EVs is the fact that, quote, "these ultra-fast charging batteries require some pretty solid infrastructure for you to get to the claimed 9-minute charge time. If you look at China, blah, 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 blah. I don't really care about that. So the real challenge here isn't so much whether or not it's possible. We know that it certainly is, but rather how quickly ultra-fast charging infrastructure can be made available to the masses. Okay, so the battery technology, that's there, but how? So you need the ultra-fast charging stations to begin to make it a commercial thing. Quote continues, then of course there is the issue of cost. Yeah, at present it costs way more to manufacture solid-state EV batteries than lithium-ion and LFP batteries found in current electric vehicles. Okay, so it's around 3 or 4 times to be specific. That is a hindrance, the cost. Yep, perhaps that's why Toyota plans on introducing solid-state batteries on its Lexus vehicles first. Yes, correct, where profit margins are much higher. Okay, so that's another thing. Okay, it costs 3 to 4 times as much. So for the average Joe like me, who may want to get an electric vehicle, who may want to get a Tesla, for example, it does seem at the moment the current battery technology is cheaper. But as we all know, as technology advances, you can pretty much guarantee this. As technology advances, things get cheaper and cheaper. So that cost will go down. There's pretty much no doubt of that. Okay, it's looking really good. Quote, at the end of the day, the advancement of solid-state batteries is a good thing for everyone. Agree. Sure, at the moment they're super expensive and require specialized tech to make the most of, but less than 20 years ago, he's just making my point, but less than 20 years ago, solid-state batteries were super expensive, yes, and hard drive were the norm. But even now, even boomers, well, I'm not a boomer, but hey, come on. Even boomers have solid-state drives in their laptops, yes, and home computers, yes. Who's to say that in the next 20 years, or maybe even less, solid-state batteries will be the standard for EVs? It makes the most sense. Why, if computer technology is going from hard drives to solid-state drives, of course, battery technology will go from, most likely, the lithium-ion to the more efficient, when the cost goes down, to the solid-state batteries. And if Samsung corner the market as such, 20 to 50%, and it requires, let's just say it's 3 grams. Let's say it's half. Okay, let's say, screw it. Let's say it's half of that amount of 5 grams. So let's say it's 500 grams, half a kilo of silver in every solid-state battery. And then you've got the silver that's needed for the actual electric vehicles themselves with the components and all that. That can still add up to a decent amount, because the current amount, it's a big jump. The current amount of silver in batteries for electric vehicles is around about 25 to 50 grams. So that's, that's 200 times to 10 times to 200 times to 10, 20 to 10 times the amount needed. So that's a big increase. According to, there's lots of quotes here, according to Charlie Morris, founder of ByteTree, this development sets the stage for silver to have a 2010-like rally. Well, we like to hear that. Again, this confirms my bias. That's exactly what I want to hear. So this is good for me. That's good for you too. Quote, this reminds me of the silver rally of 2010, which saw the price surge to $50 on the back of demand for solar panels. It wasn't just on the back of the demand for that. It was a bit of every man and his dog jumping in. The slump that followed was weighed down not only by a weak gold market, but also by substitution, something that has killed many commodity rallies. There's a chart of the silver solar boom right there. Okay, yeah, all right, fair enough. So he's making the case here. Solar boom, to $50. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, sure. Quote, yet the EV, electrical vehicle bull story, is here and now. And if solid-state EV batteries can invigorate the crowd, silver is onto a winner, Morris said. Quote, the silver price basically matches gold but goes further, not just in bull markets, but whenever there's a good story. Yes, that's true. It's more volatile. A great story for silver, we'll see it rise. I like this one. End quote. With a need for a ramp up in the ultra-fast charging infrastructure, which you do, several other metals are expected to see an uptick in demand, which could lead to price increases. Oh, okay. Based on material type, the EV global charging station raw materials market is segmented into metals and alloys. I don't care about that. The segment, don't care. Let's talk about silver. Supercharging, nope. Supercharging, nope. That's all I care about. Don't care about the rest. So, there you go, people. What do you think? Samsung technology, solid state batteries requiring maybe up to 5 grams per thing, so up to a kilo of silver per battery. A lot of caveats there, a lot of what ifs. A lot of what ifs. Even if it's half that amount, that's good. But again, even if it's 2.5 grams, so even if it's 500 grams per Samsung solid state battery, the demand for it, as in its market share of EV technology, could be higher than that 20%. So it could be 40%. So there you go. The requirement of silver in the battery is halved, but let's say the demand goes up to 40%. I don't know. At this stage, it's all subjective and it's all up in the air and we don't know. But is it really positive? And is it rah, rah, rah silver? Yes, it is. And I will champion any article that does that. So excellent. That's what I like to see. Let's get some comments on that. And then we'll do some gold, silver, platinum analysis. And we will get out of here. There we go. Just got to lower that a little bit and then the lighting gets better. Who knew? What's that? That's nothing behind me. Let's see. Fuse, get some questions in, etc. Yeah. That's exactly... actually, no, that's not Victoria. That's exactly what I use. Tony P. I knew Tony Pearson. You and me are so alike. I use exactly this. I use the Vittoria freeze-dried, the big tub, right? And it's really cheap. And sometimes it's even cheaper. We're talking about coffee here. It's even cheaper when it's on sale. Sometimes it's on sale for like $20 for a big thing, and it lasts you forever. That's exactly the one I use. I use the espresso one, not the intense one. I use the espresso one. Exactly the one I use to make my little boop, boop, my little shot. Man, we are similar. We are so similar. And for my decaf, I use Aldi decaf. Best decaf Aldi instant decaf. It's the best decaf I've ever had. Not joking. Really good. Sorry, gang. We're just talking about coffee. We're getting through all the stuff right here. Oh, is it Celtic or pink Himalayan salt? Good question. It's pink Himalayan salt. However, I want to move over to Celtic. But it is pink Himalayan. Yes, agreed. Let's just quickly go. We're going to talk about very quickly the EV stuff, and then we'll get back to other comments, okay? Not sure. EV stuff. We are like peas and carrots, Joe. We are like peas and carrots. 1 second. Just about the EV stuff. I saw a comment about it. Give me 1 second. The amount of silver 1 kilo in EV batteries. Yes, that is correct. Danny Vitt says, I don't believe the silver solid state battery will take flight. Okay. To put a solid state battery in every EV vehicle. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. It'll take 16,000 metric tons. Yeah. Only 25 liters per year. We already have a sorted. Yeah, but that's really easy. That's really easy because all you do is the price of silver has to get revalued. And as you know, if there's a big imbalance of supply and demand, something happens. If supply stays the same and demand for it goes up, the price will generally go up to meet the extra demand to then dissuade lots of people to buy. Okay, so price would have to go up. Basically, price would have to go up, or you'd have to find a much larger supply. Could Elon Musk have a secret silver supply? Oh, there's a title for a very clickbaity title for a video, which I probably won't do. But could Elon Musk have a secret silver supply? You never know. So yeah, I agree. All that would need to happen is the price would have to go up. So that's good for you and me. Let's see. Is that it for the comments on the Silver State battery? Quite possibly. Yeah. Okay. That is fantastic. Great to see. No, there is one or more two there, but I don't think I have time to... Oh, here we go. As I said, I heard yesterday... Hang on, weren't we just talking about this? I heard yesterday that Samsung have come up with better technology of using 5 grams of silver in their batteries. I think that's what we just talked about. That is it. Okay, I'll get to your general comments at the end of the show. Of course, we will be doing gold and silver and platinum price analysis. I did share some interesting platinum stuff, but of course, as you all know, my people, I have brand partners. My brand partner, number one, is Perth Bullion Exchange, perthbullion.com.au, Australia's first dealer to offer free shipping on buying over certain amounts. I'm not going to say any more than that. Go to the website, perthbullion.com.au, start adding things to your shopping cart, and just keep going. Start adding different things to the shopping cart and keep watching the shopping cart section, right? So then you go up here, you go to your shopping cart, and then you start adding different, you add 2 of this, 1 of this, 5 of this, 7 of this, whatever, and then wait till you get, you go to the checkout. Go to the checkout, sorry, not the shopping cart, the checkout. Actually, no, you can go to that thing. No, sorry. You go to the shopping cart section, okay? And then on the right-hand side here, you'll see the shipping. Now, if it says X amount of dollars of shipping, that's what you're going to pay. Just keep playing around with the quantities, and eventually, no matter what you're buying, there'll be a certain quantity that you hit in mixing, matching, where you end up getting free shipping from Perth Bullion Exchange. Free shipping Australia-wide, express, sign-on delivery, fully insured, all the things that all the other bullion dealers in Australia refuse to do, and they still refuse to do it. I love my bullion dealers. I worked for 3 of the major ones. You know who they are. But come on, Perth Bullion Exchange are the mavericks. And I think as Perth Bullion Exchange gets older and older, they've only started in May, I think as they prove themselves as a company that sticks around for at least a year, 2 years, or of course they're going to be around for a long time, all the other bullion dealers will start going, oh, this is not just a crazy experiment anymore. I think I'm going to have to come to the party. But no, not yet they won't. They're scared. They're running scared from Perth Bullion Exchange. Again, I love all my other bullion dealers. I've worked for many of them, but Perth Bullion Exchange is doing it right. They've got a great range, great attitude. Ricky at Perth Bullion Exchange makes amazing content on the YouTube channel. Head over to YouTube, Perth Bullion Exchange, just do a search, you'll find their stuff. I happen to be teaching them the skills of creating consistently engaging content. They've had multiple videos now with like 2,000, 3,000 plus views with a subscriber base of a bit over 500 people so far. Come on. They're doing great. So that is Perth Bullion Exchange, and their weekly special is Geiger 5 gram minted gold bars. You can see it right here. They're $10 off for the entire week, and then buy over a certain amount of the whole shopping cart and you'll get free shipping on that as well. They don't have a quantity discount on these. These are the premiums on these to buy them wholesale are really expensive. That's why Perth Bullion Exchange don't have a discount volume for this particular one. So buy 20 or 50, you still don't get free shipping, but you just buy one, however many you want, and then add a bunch of other stuff to your shopping cart, and you'll get after a certain point, you'll get instant free shipping. It's just crazy. So that's that. And of course, Wealthstack.com. Wealthstack, my new brand partner, who does unallocated gold. Of course, if you don't hold it, you don't own it, people, that's fine. But a lot of you are open to unallocated gold programs. I certainly am, and I certainly had it unallocated myself. The fees on this are very, very little. Spot plus 1% to buy gold. Physically backed, real gold backed, a unallocated gold program backed by real physical gold. You can buy as minimum as $10 of gold, and what you get in return is a gold-backed token. Okay, this is actually, for me, this is actually better than the other unallocated programs out there, because there are some unallocated gold programs, and that in Australia at least, where you go, hi, I want unallocated gold, and they go, yeah, no worries. Email, check out the price, or you can buy it online, but then you get your receipt that you got, you paid your money. Okay, thanks for your $1,000 or whatever it is, and then the company says, all right, there you go, you've got your unallocated gold, and that's good. If you trust the company, fantastic. But Wealthstack have gone the extra step to go, we don't just have it, we're going to give you a receipt of claim in the form of a blockchain-based token, okay? So they're going that extra step to show you we're a real company, we're real here, the gold's real, all that sort of stuff, and this is your actual receipt of claim. So it can't be double spent, it can't be taken away from you. That is it's your immutable claim. It's like when you own, for example, if you know the crypto world, Not that this has a lot to do with crypto Wealthstack, but if you own an NFT, okay, yes, someone can copy and paste your NFT and all that. It's different to this. Copy and paste the image, but you have got the immutable claim of, no, I was the one who owned the original thing, right? Same thing. This is a mutable claim, owning the WSG token, 100% gold backed, no transfer fees. If you want to jump on the website or using the phone app, so available on Apple and Android, also the desktop app. And if you want to send gold to someone else who also has a Wealthstack account, no transfer fees. Just send them a gram of gold. Pay for something with a gram of gold. Pay something with $10 worth of gold. Okay. Also, of course, no storage fees as well. So I want you to go check out wealthstack.com, go to the About section, check out the CEOs, etc., who's the team behind it. They're Australian-based, fully Australian regulated. And also, when you want to sell back your gold, which you can, of course, do for cash, etc., it's spot minus 0.5%. The spreads on this are very, very good. Okay, spreads really good. Now, you will be, a couple of caveats, you will be able to redeem for physical metal later on down the track, maybe by the end of the year. This is a brand new company. You will be able to redeem for physical metal, can't do it yet. You also will be, what will be available is a debit card, not available yet, but it will be, a debit card, which will be attached to like a Visa or a MasterCard, where you can just tap your phone, tap your physical card, and pay for your everyday stuff in gold. Also, silver is coming. For all the people going, when silver, when silver? And we've had a lot of people sign up to the app so far, and everyone's asking when silver. That's also coming. That's on their roadmap, and that's hopefully by the end of this year. Silver will be. And I tell you, I know for a fact when silver is on board, a whole bunch of you are going to bloop, 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 bloop. So make sure you download the app now. Okay, this is the app right here. And I just want to show you what it looks like so you can at least... that's wrong. That's the frequently asked questions page, which you should be checking out anyway. But right here, this is what it looks like on the App Store and the Google Play Store. Right here, it looks like it's that icon there. Don't get fooled by anything else. Wealthstack, one word. That's the icon. Download it. Free to download. Free to sign up for an account, etc. And if you have any issues downloading it and signing up for an account on Android or iPhone, just send them a really nice message. Just go to the website, wealthstack.com, go to the Contact Us section, and send them a message through there. And I already know they've gotten back to people who had a little bit of trouble. Maybe they needed a walkthrough of how to sign up, etc. And they're really, really quick to respond, and they're very friendly, wonderful people. That is Wealthstack. You're going to be hearing a lot more about them because they are one of my current brand partners. Let's go to gold on the daily time frame, priced in US dollars. $2,511. We are still currently above the trend line, and that is great to see. Great to see. So we did see another test. Yesterday I did suggest another test of the trend line would be likely. We just want to make sure we're continually closing above it. And we are so far, doesn't mean we're out of the woods. We need to take a look at a couple of things, okay? Here's the uptrend line that we broke out of. We broke out of it. We made the new all-time high in gold, $2,530 US. As I said, I don't like that spike. Just in the short term. In the long term, gold's going much higher than in the next 10 years. We're looking very good for gold. We're looking very good for silver, in my opinion, based on what the price is doing now. Could that change? Yes. Could we have a black swan event? Yes. Do I give you guarantees? No. But just in the little interim, we've had that little spike, and we've had that big spike there on the daily time frame. I don't like big spikes, as you said. I don't like the big upward spikes. It tells me that we might just take a little bit of a break and not make a new all-time high, at least for maybe a couple of days, maybe the rest of this week, probably not. Only a couple of days until the end of this week. So I'm assuming no new all-time high this week, possibly next week. But as long as we're above this uptrend line, that's great. So we closed above. So that's the first day. 1, 2, 3, 4. With 4 consecutive days closing above the breakout of the uptrend line. Hey, that's great to see. But just do keep in mind, we want to look at the relative strength index as well. What does this measure? The relative strength index measures periods where an asset is going through overbought and oversold, or we could call it overvalued and undervalued on a given time frame. Of course, you can do this for all the different time frames, but even the smaller time frames inform the larger time frames as well. Okay, so on the 4-hour time frame, let's actually I'll go take you to the hour. I know it's intraday, but it does help. Okay, we've been in extremely overvalued on the 1-hour time frame once, twice, just recently in the last couple of days. We've seen a move down. We haven't been down in extremely undervalued for a bit, and that's coming very soon because, as you know, the relative strength index is an oscillator. It always. This is probably the only thing in the world where I'll say always. Well, except death and taxes, but always goes through periods of extremely undervalued on a given time frame to extremely overvalued on a given time frame. On the shorter term time frames, it happens very regularly. Okay, so this is the 1-hour time frame. We will eventually go into extremely undervalued or oversold on the relative strength index on the 1-hour time frame. Is it coming now? I don't know, but I'm just saying it's coming soon. Okay, look at the gaps between the 1 hours. Extremely undervalued, close to there. We're due for it. Okay, so what I'm saying is if we do breakdown through this trend line soon, don't stress. As long as we remain above 2,470 US dollars, that's okay. That's the upper line in the sand. I don't want to see any day close below 2,470. We did talk about this yesterday. Okay. What would be lovely to see would be really preferably if we just continue to consolidate above. Little spikes are okay. Spikes on the hourly are fine. As long as we close a few more days above this uptrend line, that could actually see the 1 hour go all the way down into extremely undervalued. So you can be an extremely undervalued on the 1 hour time frame and still be above a key area of support, okay? Because it's about time as well. That would be the perfect scenario. We keep just ranging, testing this and bouncing off. This eventually gets into extremely undervalued or oversold. And then that's when we have the tick around and we've remained above support. And that's a really good sign for gold. That's when that would blast off. Am I saying that's going to happen? No, I'm just giving you the what if scenarios. But the other what if, the other main scenario is that we close below, don't want to close any day below 2,470. A spike down, completely fine. I preferably just want to remain above there. That's pretty much all you need to know. And the next levels to watch out for if we do go down, 2,430 and 2,380 are the next lines of big support right there. Of course, hit the big red subscribe button to stay updated every single weekday with the gold, silver, and platinum prices. And hit the like button because that helps with the algorithm. And if we do continue up from here and we have a little bit of a blip, or if we just find support here, fantastic. The next level, as I've been talking about, around about 2,650 US dollars, give or take 20 bucks either side. 10 bucks, 20 bucks either side is a very massive trend line area. Okay, as you know, for my current subscribers, but if you're watching this for the first time, if you've just found me, the mother of all trend lines, going back to 1980 right here, mother of all trend lines is coming up for a test. Okay. Now, the more times you test any trend line, the more likely it is to be taken out. Could second time be a charm? So that was the first test back in 2011. Failed move. Okay, fast move to the downside. We all know what happened after 2011. The second test of this trend line, could second time be a charm? Quite possibly. But I do think that we'll find a little bit of resistance, at least on, say, the weekly and monthly potentially. So just watch it there. Okay. If you're here for the long term, don't stress about it, because I think eventually we will break this trend line. And when we do break this trend line, holy moly, when we break this trend line, whatever that is, and we will eventually at some point in time, is that in 2 months' time, in 2 years' time? I don't damn know, and neither do you. Once we do, and we break it, holy moly, that is the absolute holy grail for the gold price. Okay? The mother of all trend lines broken, closing any month above the mother of all trend lines is so incredibly bullish for gold. And again, I don't know when it's going to happen, but watch out for that. That's the big tell, okay? The big tell is break above. You would see a quick move and you would break out to some point. I don't know where that point is, neither do you. And then you would come back to retest it, bounce off. That's celebration time, okay? We will dance in our underwear. We'll all have a dance in our underwear party when that happens. And it's a matter of when, not a matter of if, I think. I don't think we're done here. We could see a bit of consolidation, but I think eventually we are going to break this. I mean, obviously, over a given period of time, we are going to break it. Next 10, 15 years? Yes, of course we are. The next area after that, though, is the $3,000 level. And I've been saying $3,000 USD gold per ounce in 2025 is technically doable. It's only 20% from here, so it is doable. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but just out of interest, the vertical line right there is the end of the year. Look at that. That's really doable. Look at that rate, that rate of ascension, that angle, easily doable. I would say reasonably doable, definitely doable in 2025. It's going to happen probably sometime in 2025, but it could be the end of the year. You never know. But don't blame me if we don't get there because I'm not quoting it. That is gold. You've got the levels to look out for moving down, levels to look out for moving higher. Silver on the monthly time frame. I love this monthly candle. Look at this. We are the 22nd of August, so we've only got, we only have 9 days until the end of the month, and we are already, this is good, we are already green for the month. Now, could that change in the next 9 days? Yes. Could we tank down and close red for the month? Yes. If we close red for the month, not great. I wouldn't want to see that. That happens to be at, what do you know? We talked about this at the $29 level. So closing the month below $29 puts it into a red candle month. I preferably wouldn't want to see that. Okay, you want a green candle month would be nice. We're still there. Okay, so while we're above 29, green candle, and that's really good. Look at that lovely spike down. Again, we don't like big spikes up necessarily. That can change sometimes, but we do like big spikes down because it says buyers are more in control of the market. And let's pop onto the daily. Look at that $29 level right there. Pop onto the daily. Where have we been? And pop on the indicators. The back in business line is at 29 US dollars. Okay, it was a very key level, right? Makes sense. We have spiked here, and we're still, I will say from yesterday, looking like I think we probably, I'm going to call that now. And I called it yesterday, more than 50% chance we have gone into extremely overvalued for silver on the 4-hour time frame. It's very intraday. Should you dollar cost average? Yes. Okay, don't worry about these small moves. But because I do a daily analysis, I've got to talk about these sort of intraday stuff. On the 4-hour, and this helps you to learn about technical analysis and things that I use. The relative strength index is very important for me. It could be then for you, and it does inform the longer term time frames. Extremely overvalued for silver on the relative strength index on the 4-hour time frame, and currently trending down. It's been a while since we've been there. Okay, so coming back down here a little bit longer would not be surprising. Generally, you don't get a lot of time. There's not a lot of times where, if you look back in history, it does happen. It certainly does happen. But more often than not, after you've been in extremely overvalued on a given time frame, cancel that, you don't tend to revisit it really quickly unless we're in a crazy, bull market, right? So I do tend to think we will see a little bit more down in the next few days, okay? I just don't want to see it close anywhere below this uptrend line, and that's currently at around about $28.50, roughly. And it actually coincides exactly with that. This is why I love doing this stuff, because it's right on the fly. Look at there, right? Look at right there. $28.50. There you go. There's that little line. I don't want to see it close $28.50 really, or this uptrend line. It might coincide around about here. That's tomorrow because we're on the 4-hour time frame. I don't want to see it break that trend line. Breaking this trend line says potentially downward we go. But watch anywhere down to 28. Really, that's the big line in the sand. I will actually get rid of that. Okay. So on the 1 hour time frame, we have been in extremely overvalued or overbought right there. And we have found yeah, there's room to move. Okay, as I said, like silver, it's been a while since we've been in extremely undervalued or oversold, and there's room to go down. So if we go down, don't stress. Normal moves, as long as we remain above this uptrend line, I'm cool with silver. Okay, but if we do break that trend line, it's heading down, probably going to make a test back down to at least the bottom end of the best buy zone at 26 US dollars. Anywhere down to 25 US dollars, I don't want to see it close any day below 26 US dollars. That is not great. Okay, a spike down to 25, great. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Close a day above this area of about 26 US dollars. That's fine. Normal, healthy consolidation. And as you know, it's very normal to see after you break out of a big downtrend line, you break out, you tend to have a retest. Not always, it doesn't always come back down to the trend line, but a retest of the trend line is pretty damn normal, okay? So don't stress about it, people. It would be completely fine. Where's my rectangle? Rectangle, right there. And we didn't even touch it, okay? So that's looking really positive for silver. We haven't even had the retest of this long-term downtrend line. Positive for silver, okay? Even if we came down to here and we bounced off, I'd say, okay, well, that's just a normal retest. So still par for course. Still 99% sure we're in a bull market. It's actually more positive that we haven't had the retest, okay? So it says the buyers are more in control, and that's really good news. So far, so good for silver. Back over the back-in business line of 29 US dollars. Eventually, I think we will head up to test 31 US dollars. You all know that's my final hurdle. Close any month above 31 and we're 100% in a bull market. That's all you need to know about. Later on down the track, watch out for $38.50. That's gold and silver. Let's go to platinum because this has been interesting. I shared this on the Gold and Silver Stackers Australia forum, the Facebook group, free to join. Head over there, find it. It's a private group for Australian stackers. You can do buy swaps and sells and all that. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, still playing out, although while we're above 945 US dollars, it's looking less likely that this will play out. As soon as we close, I would say any day around here, and I just drew in this downtrend line, which you do have to take note of, okay, because you can have fake outs, okay? This area right here, very important to break and hold out of. So preferably, I did call that the other day, didn't I? I said 985. I did say that the other day, last week, without drawing this trend line in. I said, you want to close convincingly above 980, this downtrend line. And I said, preferably 985 or higher. So that's around about the top end of this downtrend line right here. And you want to close above there. Closing above there means an invalidated head and shoulders pattern. Says to me, we're going to have a quick move to at least the top end here of 1,020 US dollars. We have to see what happens there. This puts us in our, okay, whatever, we'll see what happens area for me in terms of my emotional journey with platinum. Once we get over 1,120, I'm in, oh yeah, getting excited mode, okay? And then as you know, once we get over 1,020, I'm in getting excited mode. Once we close any month over 1,120, full bull market, baby. But that's where we are with platinum. My platinum analysis is always really quick because there's not a lot to say. We just need to close above this area here. And it looks like we're making a test. We did make a test. We failed to break out. If we break back down through 945 and close any day below 945 US dollars very specifically, down to there, and because it's so close to there, bloop, 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 bloop. So I would suggest really quite likely we break through 945 and close any day below it, heading down into the best buy zone area. That's anywhere between 900 all the way down to 750 US dollars. I know it's a big range, but that is what it is. But you would be in the best buy zone, okay? The best risk to reward in that general area. And then I would say, once we get above this line, no. I have to say, if you want to play it really safe, if you're looking to get into platinum, but you don't want to take the risk on it, of course, there's inherent risk in everything, I would suggest you're looking to get into platinum, but you don't know when, Wait for confirmation. Wait for confirmation of a final hurdle of $1,120 closing any month above that. Okay, we could come up and test it, but then it's a spike. Don't look at spikes. We could climb all the way up. We could go into getting excited territory, and we could have a month, say September or October or November, where it's going up and up, and it's like, I'm getting in now, I'm getting it now, and then it spikes to 1,120 and then goes, oh, no, you don't. And it was just a fake out. Okay, if you close the month above it, that signals to me personally, not financial advice. You do what you do. Full bull market for platinum. That might be the time, not financial advice, where you would consider going, okay, at least someone else thinks it's fully confirmed. I would at that point. I would consider buying more platinum myself at that point. But yeah, or down in here is the best buy zone, where it's the best risk to reward for platinum, because $750, very key support level. 1, 2, and 3 right there. You could find a really nice bounce there, or a bounce beforehand at 870 or 840, around about those kind of areas there. But that's within the range of the best buy zone. So that's where I say anywhere from 900, anywhere down to 750. Not saying it would go there, but in that general area. Does that make sense? Good. That is platinum, gold, silver. Gold to silver ratio is still tanking a little bit. It is still on its downward trajectory, as I did suggest it would be. Who the hell am I? No one. I'm no one. Don't follow me. Okay? Hit the big red subscribe button, but don't just blindly follow me. Okay? Subscribe to everyone, all the channels, all the big people, all that. Big people, little people as well. But I did say that because we had been in extremely overvalued for gold on the daily time frame, a move back down into the normal area was going to be likely. So I did say silver will outperform gold in the next week or two. We have seen that play out so far. Does that mean nothing? Does that mean anything? Probably not. Who the hell am I? But out of interest, we are still within the any metals game area while we're in here. It's indeterminate yet which metal will reign supreme for the longer term. I think, personally, my personal bias is silver. And we are seeing a move back down to test this area. Again, the more times you test an area, the more likely it is to be taken out, whether that's to the upside or the downside. So what I really want to see is a move all the way down back to this support level, okay? And I want this trend line to be broken. When we break this trend line, okay, very bullish for silver against gold. It would signal to me closing any day, particularly a week or a month. You know, if it does it on the longer term timeframes, that's even more confirmation. So daily, daily good. Preferably weekly or monthly, closing below this trend line. Very good sign for silver, saying that it's going to continue its move down. But we're just in the no man's land. But I'm just talking for all the silver holders right now. Closing below there says, boop, 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 boop. Down we go to the final trapdoor. Silver's final trapdoor, that if we break through, that's at the 70 level, tells me, man, over the longer term, we're heading all the way down to 50. Okay? So imagine buying silver around here-ish, even anywhere up to about that mark there. That's gold. That's gold's final hurdle, by the way. If we crack above this on the gold to silver ratio, it would say gold might be taking a bit more of a center stage for a little bit longer. Okay, and cracking above this uptrend line says, well, we're moving up to there. Okay, but what was I saying? Yeah, closing below here tells me we get down to there. So, well, the point I was trying to make is, imagine buying silver anywhere above this line here. Anywhere above this line. Could be here. It could be all the way here. It could be all the way back up to the all-time high of 125. Okay? But at some point, gold will become extremely overvalued. And it's been recently overvalued on the daily time frame. We'll take a quick look at the weekly and the monthly in just a second. But imagine buying silver up here, and then silver goes on an absolute tear and swapping your silver for gold at around about the 50 mark or even lower. You're doubling, maybe even tripling your ounces in your hands. Okay, let's see, weekly time frame, gold to silver ratio. Okay, again, trending down, good for silver holders on the weekly time frame, but we're not out of the indeterminate range, the any metals game right now, because you could bounce here and go blop, 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 and then gold continues to outperform silver. Don't stress, both metals could be going up in fiat dollar currency price, so that's good for everyone, but it's just if you're playing the gold to silver ratio, okay? We've had a gold to silver ratio move on the weekly time frame. As this is going up, gold is outperforming silver. A little bit of a dip, but we're kind of mid-range-ish, okay? So it's kind of that's why it's indeterminate, okay? And on the monthly time frame, here's the positive on the monthly. Here's the very positive so far on the monthly time frame. Interesting. I love doing this stuff on the fly. Here's the positive thing for silver. Here's that month right there. This month, August, bloop, 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 bloop. So far, a failed breakout. Okay, we spiked above this trend line and silver went, not yet. No, you don't. Bloop, 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 bloop. So, as I said, I don't like these big spikes. Don't like the big spikes. We're also coming close to the end of the month as well. Gold would have to go on a bit of a tear, or silver would have to go really quite down in order for this to go up. 9 days to go. We're probably not in 9 days going to get back to here. I could be completely wrong, by the way. But so far, it's looking nice for a continued silver run. Okay. Also, on the relative strength index on the monthly time frame, gold has been overvalued back in March of 2020. It hasn't spent any time there. It also hasn't spent any time in incredibly undervalued. Okay, so, and this downtrend line hasn't been broken, so that's good for silver so far. It's still indicating that silver has a really good chance of continuing to take over. So you could find resistance here. You could tick right over here and continue to go down and down and down and down and down and down and down. That's good for silver holders against gold holders. And at some point, as I said, we will 100%, always, always, always will go at some point into extremely undervalued for gold, meaning extremely overvalued for silver. So that's when you would see the gold to silver ratio down at kind of like that 50 level, or possibly even lower, okay? But this will go into this area. As I said last time, when we looked at this, when this gold to silver ratio on the monthly time frame is down in this area here, I don't watch so much the ratio levels as I do the relative strength index. When we start getting into, and it could be for you, it could be just as we touch the line, it could be you want to wait a few more months and wait till we get to kind of this kind of level, but somewhere between here and here is where you go, ooh, okay, silver is now quite highly overvalued against gold. It might be time to swap some of my silver for gold. But we're nowhere near there right now, so silver has a long way to go. If indeed we do continue in that direction. Am I saying it's going to happen 100%? Nope, I have no damn idea, and neither do you. That is the gold to silver ratio, but it's looking positive for now. Anything else? Nope. That's all I'm going to do. Let's do some final comments, queries, etc., and we shall get out of here, my funky people. Again, over the 1 hour mark here at Good Morning Stackers. There will be a couple less people watching. Let's see. Some people talking about work safe out there, everyone. I want to raise this. I saw this before. Work safe out there, everyone. I had a serious accident this week. Oh, I'm so sorry, Living Adam Man. Please send me your prayers for a quick recovery. My prayers for a quick recovery to you, and everyone's prayers here for a quick recovery. Let me just check the comments. Let me see if it did. Okay. Thanks, Pete. I'm in pretty low spirits, so won't say much more. I'm really sorry to hear that, mate. Very sorry to hear that. Living Adam Man, one of our regular watchers, part of the GMS family. We all get around our GMS family when someone's in trouble, when someone's having a bad time, etc. That's why you join a family. You join these. You've got your own family, but you know, if you don't have a family, if anything, you've got to join. You've got to be part of a community, a group. Join the GMS family to be part of this group. And when someone's in trouble, man, I'm so sorry. And Tony Peterson says, LAM, I pray you recover fast. Yes. If when the time comes that you feel like LAM that you can talk about it, we're here to listen to you, to listen. So I'm really sorry for that. That's no good. Mark Flores says, you have my prayers. We'll continue until I hear that you are healed. Thanks so much. I'll be right. I'll be right, says Living Adam Man. That is the very Aussie thing. I'll be right. She'll be right, mate. Yeah, we'll get over it, and you will. It'll get better. Let's see. Other questions? Because O'Reilly asks, what type of paper trail is there when buying online with Perth Bullion Exchange or Bullion Now, for example? Paper trail, well, from any bullion dealer, of course you get a receipt of purchase. So yeah, look, your receipt of purchase can be your receipt of claim, because you can go straight to the, what is it, Consumer Affairs or whatever, and said, I have an official invoice from this company. They said they would do this. They didn't provide it. Here's the proof they didn't provide it, or I didn't get my thing. So there's lots of protections in Australia and lots of protections in many other major countries. But a paper trail, but if you're talking about unallocated, Perth Bullion Exchange don't do an unallocated program yet. My understanding is they will be. BN, because I worked for them there for 3 years. I don't know. I left BN in early 2022. I don't know what kind of paper trail they do now for unallocated gold program. I think there's an online account where you can see your balance these days, I believe. I think, but I don't know if that's accessible for everyone. I know for a fact, actually, some of the legacy people who bought unallocated earlier on in the unallocated program with Bullion Now don't have access to the online dashboard. I think there's an online dashboard as far as I'm aware. Someone who has, some unallocated with BN, which I don't at the moment, could tell me differently. But with Wealthstack.com, for example, yes, it's a full, you've got your dashboard and you've also got the WSG blockchain-based token as your immutable claim of your receipt of claim. Or in other words, in other words, you're asking about something different, sorry. In other words, do your personal details get passed on? Yes. Well, yeah. Do your personal details get passed on? Yes. To who, though? Well, it depends. What do you mean by to who? Sorry. Paper trail. Who are we talking about passed on? Now, if you're talking about the tax office, no. If you're talking about other things like AUSTRAC requirements, anti-terrorism, money laundering stuff, your details don't get passed on until, so just so you know, any bullion dealer, etc., Bullion Now, Perth Bullion Exchange, Goldstackers, Ainslie, any bullion dealer in Australia has nothing to do with the tax office, and nothing ever gets reported. If the ATO were to call one of those bullion dealers and say, we want information on something, we'd go, no thanks, unless there was some kind of court order, because it was believed to be, unless the police called and said, we believed someone used stolen funds to buy blah, 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 then of course you're going to have to comply, right? But if the ATO calls and says, give us information on all your stackers, and every owner of every bullion dealer would give a digital to the ATO, because that's none of their business. They're not allowed to do that. Okay? Of course, it's self-reporting and all that stuff. And of course, you've got to self-report your taxes and do all the good stuff. Do all that right stuff. But if you're talking about AUSTRAC and the anti-terror money laundering stuff, if you purchase over $10,000 worth in cash of precious metals from any bullion dealer in Australia, they must do a report. It's a report that must be filled out online, and your details are sent to them. So yes, your details would be passed on if you're paying in $10,000 of cash. You could do $1 million transfer, and they don't need to do the report, because obviously $1 million transfer is going to flag with the banks, right? So there'll be some kind of paper trail there anyway. I hope I covered all those questions. Tony Pearson says, oh, I love it when people answer my questions before, but then after I mention it. An invoice is raised with dealers, but as long as you stay under ASIC reportable level, $10,000 cash, buyers shouldn't raise any interest from the government. Correct. I'm not sure, Knackers, but I think dealer-wise, if you keep it to under $5,000, no reporting, but the bank would still have a record of it. Yes, so the bank has a record of anything that you transfer, of course. If it's over $10,000, it's not $5,000. So you could spend between $5,000 and $10,000 in cash at a bullion dealer. The bullion dealer requires photo ID if you're spending over $5,000. But if you're spending under $10,000 in cash, but it's still over $5,000, they just keep the ID on file. It's not reported. It's only when you do it over $10,000 in cash, okay? But you do require identification for anything over $5,000 per person per day. Let me state that very clearly again for you.